Welcome pilots to the amazing AV-8B Harrier by Razbam Simulations. In today's mission, we're going to take up the Harrier and take out an SA-6 site. We're going to achieve this mission with the Sidearm missile taking out the straight flush radar, and then we're going to use JDAMs to take out the rest of the launchers. So if this sounds like something you're interested in, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. So again, today we're going after the SA-6. The SA-6 is a mobile surface-to-air system, and it was designed for low to medium-level air defense to protect ground forces from air attack. What you're looking at right now is the straight flush radar, and this is what we're going to be taking out with the Sidearm today in the Harrier. Now, the SA-6 has a range of 2 miles up to 35 miles, with ceilings up to 50,000 feet. It carries 3 19-foot missiles, and this is a missile system you do not want to be trapped in. So what you're looking at right here is the AGM-122 Sidearm, and this is what we're going to use to take out the straight flush radar. So my personal preference on flying the Harrier is I usually take one Sidearm as well as one AIM-9 Sidewinder. The Sidearm is actually an AIM-9 Charlie missile that has been taken out of service, and the AIM-9 Charlie was a semi-active radar homing variant of the Sidewinder. The Sidearm was less capable than the newer anti-radiation missiles, such as the AGM-88 Harm, but it was also substantially cheaper. So enough talk, let's go ahead and demonstrate. Alright, welcome to the Harrier on the Marianas map. Let's go ahead and get everything set up here. Zoom on in. Go to air to ground, master arm armed. And to get the sidearms up, we click on gun twice, and you can hear the tone. Now, if you want to change the volume of the tone, it's with this knob right here. Also, if you're cold starting, make sure you turn this knob up in order to hear the Sidewinder or sidearm. Next, we're going to select on the J82 and change it to the instantaneous fusing, because we're going to be using those to take out the launchers. We'll bring the sidearm back up by double-clicking on gun. And if we look at the HUD, let's go ahead and zoom in. You can see that it's a dashed circle. That means it's caged. So if we hit the uncage button, it goes to uncaged. So we want the solid circle, meaning that the missile is uncaged. Continuing on, we're going to waypoint 1. We have these sidearms selected, and you can see on the RWR there's a 6 flashing, as well as on the HUD. On the lollipop, you can see there's a 6. Now that means we have an SA-6 that is spiking us, and he should be firing here any moment. There we go. Let's go ahead and defend this missile here. I'm going to come off to the left, and what I want to do is put the SA-6 on my 3 o'clock position in this example, so we can go ahead and notch this radar. So there we go, it's at my 3 o'clock position. You can see the smokes in the air right there, and the RWR missile launch tone has ceased, so we're going to turn back in. Essentially what we're doing is we're trying to get the sidearm to pick up a radar source, so I'm waiting for that higher pitch tone, and you'll hear it in just a second. So down low like this, we can usually get about 12 nautical miles out of the sidearm. If you're up much higher and you're also faster, and you get a lock, you can actually fire the sidearm missile from pretty far out, sometimes up to 25 to 30 miles. Now, there is some debate that the missile shouldn't be able to fire that far, especially that the seeker head only lasts about 60 seconds. But right now, the sidearm can achieve some pretty far distances if you get it correct. So right now, we're just waiting on the higher pitch tone. There it is. We'll pull up to loft it, and Magnum. The missile is still uncaged for the second one because we have 2. And when we're getting 10 miles, you can see there's a lock. So there's the lock, points right at it, Magnum. So on the first example there, we just got the higher pitch tone. And if you're a lot farther out, you just need to get that higher pitch tone, and you can loft the missile and Magnum the missile. Now on the second example, we actually had a lock, and it was pointing towards the source of radiation. This usually doesn't happen until you're within 10 nautical miles. So here we are watching the sidearm come in, and again, you always want to loft the sidearm, because if we didn't loft the sidearm and did a direct attack, it would actually hit these trees. And boom, good shack on the radar. Alright, we're back in the Harrier cockpit. I'm going to hit J82 so we can select the J82s, bring up the targeting pod with sensor select down twice, and we're going to designate this waypoint since this is where the SA-6 was. Let's go ahead and zoom in and change it to FLIR. We'll zoom all the way in. And what we're going to do is use the TOO mode and designate all of these targets. So make sure you hit the TDC press to go to T-Pod Designate. Click TOO, then enter, so that's target 1. Let's find the next launcher. So we have 4 launchers, we have 4 JDAMs, and we're going to take out all of these bad boys. So again, we don't have to press anything else except for TOO. So there's TOO2, enter. Find the next launcher. There it is right there. Zoom in. Make sure you aim at the ground, not at the target. So TOO3, enter. And then the very last one, again at the ground. Click TOO4, enter. Now we're going to click JD2 targets and then select all the targets. 1, 2, 3, 4 shows up on the HUD. We're good to go for the ripple attack. So we're going to turn right in. Again, we designated all these with TPOD designate, and using the TOO mode, I have a full-on tutorial on how to do all this. If you click here on the top right, it's an extremely easy procedure to do. So here we are climbing. And we're going to loft all these. Holding the weapon release button. 1, 2, 3, 4. All 4 JDAMs are away on these Cub launchers. Let's go ahead and put out some flares because there was some man pads down there so we don't get fired at. Breaking away from the target. Looking back at the target just to make sure there's no man pads coming at us. Looks pretty good. Let's watch from the external view. Looks like total destruction of the SA-6 site to me. So again, just to recap, we fired 2 sidearms, went in with 4 JDAMs, and took out this whole entire SA-6 site with the DCS World Harrier. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.